Hi everyone, it's Desiree and I am thrilled to be here today. I am here celebrating with Courtney. I'm sure all of you know her. She has created a hop. And if you know her, she creates lots of hops and everything else for so many others. Well, she is now celebrating that she has gone over 10,000 subscribers. It's funny for her, I can actually say I remember when, and it just makes me smile. She has grown so much, and she will always continue to grow, and I'm sure she will continue to teach us and make us laugh throughout her videos. Now, what's great with this hop, now this isn't a blog hop, so this is going to be a YouTube hop. Okay, it's all going to be the YouTube videos. Now, of course, you can go to my blog, and I'll have all of the YouTube video links in there as well. So I'll have all of the information regarding this down below in the video description. Now, this hop that she's put together is going to have 10 participants. Yes, I'm one of them. And that means you're going to see 10 videos and 10 giveaways. So that is just absolutely awesome. What's great, there's a theme that's going to go through all of these videos because it is her way to say thank you, as we all do. She is truly grateful and honored and amazed and all of those wonderful words that we use all the time for everyone and anyone that watches our videos and finds enjoyment, who finds a tip or a trick, and maybe learns just something new to try, or maybe we are just simply inspiring you to create your art the way you create it. And she definitely does that. So, enough about me gushing over Courtney, although I could do that all day. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do a project here, and you can see the stamp set that I am using. It is the Altenew Wallpaper Art stamp set. There's beautiful images, and what really attracted me to this stamp set was not only the florals and the way that they were laid out, because you can use them for colored pencils, you can use them for your watercolors, you can use them for alcohol coloring, whatever your favorite medium is. You can do that with these images. But I also love this solid black color here, or the solid stamp. There is so much you can do with this. But what I'm going to show you through these projects is maybe you don't like to color pencils. Maybe you don't want to use alcohol markers or watercolors. I'm going to show you another way to add color to these flowers and still have some very interesting elements that are going on with it. So the items that I'm going to be using not only is the stamp set, but I'm going to be using my distress oxides because if you've seen my videos before, you know I love them, and I've paired them up. So I'm going to do one in Tattered Rose and Aged Mahogany. There's going to be another one with Fossilized Amber and Rusty Hinge. And then there's, for the leaf area, I am going to use Shabby Shutters and Peeled Paint. I'm going to do another color variation here, Weathered Wood and Tumbled Glass. And then finally, I'm going to do a color scheme of Antique Linen and, of course, Vintage Photo. Again, you know me, I love my Vintage Photo. It can be in the Distress Oxide or it can be in the regular ink. It does not matter. So I'm going to create some backgrounds using these colors. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to come in. Now, the green, the Shabby Shutters, and the Peeled Paint are going to be in every one of these images because it's going to handle this green image here. I'm absolutely in love with that green image, and also this one. Maybe I'll throw that one in there too. You just never know. So you're going to see that color scheme in each of the bases. The paper that I'm going to be using is going to be Bristol. And it doesn't matter if it's smooth or vellum. It can be either or. which means I believe mine is the Canson XL vellum because I accidentally purchased the vellum, but to me it works the same, so I'm good. The element that I'm going to add to this are these new Distress Oxide glazes. I am becoming more and more of a fan of these embossing glazes. There is a lot that we can do, and there's actually, I'm going to be trying something first here. So this should be interesting. So I'm going to be using the antique linen for the antique linen and vintage photo. I'm going to use the weathered wood for the weathered wood tumbled glass combo. Peeled paint for my greens. I'm going to use the fossilized amber for my yellow set. And then the first set that I showed, the pink tones, I'm going to use tattered rose. So I have an idea in my head. I'm hoping it comes together for you all. So let me get everything set up and I'll be right back. Okay, so I have a stack of Bristol cardstock here. And the first up, what I'm going to do is I'm going to use my antique linen, and I'm going to come in with the shabby shredder. So I'm always going to come in with the lighter colors first. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to keep this piece of paper down here onto the side, because I just want to gauge on what the size of this cardstock is. So I'm just going to twist this, the antique linen there, and then I'm going to come in with the shabby shredders, and I'm going to use the corner of the pad, and I'm just coming in on those sides. Now I'm going to come in with the darker shades. I was looking at shutters, and I'm just going to flex some colors in there. Nothing too crazy, just a little bit of shading going on, and I'm going to do the same thing for the flower, and I'm just going to tap that kind of in the center. Again, guys, I am keeping my fingers crossed here. All right, now I'm going to grab my water bottle because I want to add water to this as well. So I'm using my distress bottle. I'm going to move my paper so I don't get that soaked already. And I'm just going to spray along this. Now, I want to make sure that I've got enough water. I like to use a craft mat like this because I like it when the ink puddles up. I don't want a watercolor effect. I'm looking for a specific effect, and we're going to see if I get this. So I'm going to come down, push down, lift up. And you can see that's what I've got. Now, I am going to set this down and let it dry. Matter of fact, no. I am going to take my heat tool here, and I am going to start drying this. Because I love the ink smushing is one of my favorite techniques. I think it relieves frustration. Tap that, make that move a little bit. I think it just, I just like the effect that you get. I think it's very interesting. What I love about the oxides is the way they look when they dry, and what they do actually. So now that I've got that dry, I'm going to layer. I do want to place another layer on this. Now what I want to do though, I want to sop up that center because I don't want too much brown. So I'm just going to pull that up, dab it in the center, and now I'm going to come in with some more of the antique linen, and I'm just going to put that right in there, and I'm going to add some more water. So now I've got a lighter shade, and because this is dry, okay, I'm going to be able to layer. So I'm going to take this and push that right down again. So now I've got some splatters going on here. I've got splatters going on there too as well. Oh my goodness. Oh, I'm having fun now. So I do want to just let this dry. So I'm going to set this aside and just let this go to town. And then we'll move into the next one. So let's just get this cleaned up. Now what I'm going to do, since I splattered on that one, let's just do that. Let's just get up what I can because I love these things. I'm going to dry it a little bit. So I'm just going to sop up some, dry it, pick up what I can, and I will be right back. Okay, so let's move on to our next color. My God, I got ink everywhere. Let's go into one of my favorite combinations, the Tattered Rose. So the same thing, except this time I'm going to put it over here. Because remember, however you put your paper down, it's going to be the opposite. Again, so I'm going to come down with the lighter color. I'm just going to tap lightly with the aged, because again, learned from the first one that a lot was coming off when it came to the darker. So this one, I'm just going to put my darker shade down here, and same thing. I'm going to put my darker shade down here. Let's see what that effect gives us. I'm going to add my water. And I want to be generous with it because I really want this to bubble up. And I'm going to go down and I'm going to come right back up. So now you can see I've got this full swing going on. I'm going to real quick get my heat tool on this so that it can stop. Because I liked what the green did. But I just want to stop it. That's why I always dry in between. Because you can layer when it's dry. You can layer on top. Now they are water reactive. So if you use a lot of water, yes, they will react some. But again, not a lot. As long as you don't push it around, go up, down, into it, out of it, you should be good. But then again, maybe you'll get a really, really cool effect. You never know. And that's something that I just absolutely love when it comes to the ink smushing. Now I'm just going to clean off this path that's in here with my towel. And I'm going to come in here again with my Tattered Rose. Because again, I want that. Wow, really? Okay. You knew it was going to happen, right? Because I do want that. I'm not going to add so much water. Because I do want that puddle to come in. All right. So same thing. I'm going to come down. Push up. So now you can see I've got these speckles in here. I've got a little bit more definition going on here. And I'm going to set this one aside so that it can dry. And I'm going to make sure that I put these in the order in which my cards are sitting. Okay, let's see here. Is there anything that I can pick up from this one? Let's see. Looks a little bit. All right, we'll set that aside to dry. Throwing them to the back of me. That's why it sounded like I was fading away there. All right, next up, and I think I'm just going to do one more. I wasn't quite sure. I know I pulled out 5, but again, I pulled out 4 colors actually, but I just didn't know which way I was going to go. You know what? I think I really want to try this weathered wood and tumbled glass. Really not sure how that one is going to go. Now for this one, I think I'm going to try right in the center. So the tumbled glass goes down first. And then I'm going to come across with the shabby above, the shabby below. I'm going to come in again with the dark. I'm going to pull in a little bit more dark, and you can see I'm just coming in on those ends there, and I'm going to add a little bit of the weather wood in the center, And let's see what that does. I'm going to add my spray bottle. I'm going to see what happens if I don't add as much water. I'm going to see what that does. And I think I'm going to make this a landscape. So I'm going to go down, up. And you can see you've got all of these. Now this I'll be able to cover up. Not a problem. But I do like the way that looks as well. And you're going to see what I'm going to do too. See this top? I've got this straight line that's going on the top. Just going to tap her in there. I'm going to tap that in there. And what I'm doing is I'm just filling up this section. Just to see what I get. That's the beauty of... You know what? I'm going to continue with this. I'm going to dry this. And again, creating on the fly here. Trying something new. Trying a different way to do ink smushing. Sometimes people shy away from ink smushing because I can't control it. I can't control what it's doing. And you know what? I get that. But you can see I'm actually forcing the oxide to go in a very specific area. So once this is dry, especially, it's funny, that looks like a script going on there. So I'm going to dry this and I'm going to clean this up. I know, wasteful, but we've got to save time. And now I'm going to come in with the tumbled glass again. And I want to put a lot of that down. And again, I'm just going to put a little bit of that weathered wood right in there. And this time, I'm going to clean this part up. Just going to wipe it away. Going to add just a little bit. I know this here is my point. Down, up. So now I was able to make that just a little bit darker. Just to add a little bit more of the blue. I'm going to dry that. I like the speckles of the blue at the top. I think that's awesome. And you know what? I think I'm going to go one more. Love it. Love that. Yes. Yes, yes, yes. I love the splotchy dots. I love, 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 love them. So I'm going to finish drying this up and I will be right back and we're going to start stamping our cards. Let's see what we get. Okay, so these are dry. They are warpy and I'm okay with that. So here is what the tattered rose and the aged mahogany looks like. So you can see that we've got these spots that are going around. So it almost looks like there's something there. We've got this wisp that comes off. We've got these great different colors that come off. For the antique linen and vintage photo, you can see I've got this great area here. And I love when it oxidizes. I've got this beautiful third shade that goes in there. Again, the wisps coming off, I've got splatters coming through it already. So this is set. And this one I have to say is actually my favorite. I've got all of this going on and I am loving those marks down there. It looks like it's a script. It looks like I actually stamped that. So you know what? That is not getting hidden anytime soon. So what are we going to do with these? Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm just going to roll them just a little bit to see if I can get them a little bit flatter, which is fine because I'm going to put them in my stamp positioning tool. And I'm going to do this one first. And what I'm going to do is I'm also going to get my clear ink. And I'm going to put this here. Hopefully this magnet will hold this. And I want to pull the flower first, because what I'm going to do is I'm going to emboss it. Now, let's see. Do I want this one or do I want this one? Oh, I think I want this one. I want to choose a flower that's just a little bit smaller. And I'm going to put it on an angle like that. And the reason why I want to choose one just a little bit smaller is because I want to see those splotchy areas that are sitting around it. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to use the Tattered Rose for this flower. I'm going to use that one first to emboss my image. So I'm getting a piece of paper ready for when I do that. And let's ink. I always struggle with these cases. So I'm going to put this down. I want to make sure that's where that needs to be. And I do want to put some pressure because Bristol paper is textured. And if you noticed, I did not put my anti-static tool down first. I did not want to do that. I'm okay, especially with this stuff, with the glazed embossing. I am really okay with the speckles that come off of it. And that's our image stamped right there. Because this embossing powder is clear. I know Jennifer McGuire did a video on this, doing all kinds of different techniques. So in a way, I was definitely inspired by her with what you can do with these. And I just really, really wanted to try what this is going to look like. Now, I'm going to grab one of my leaves. I'm sorry if I sound far away there, but I want to see which one I want to go with. And you know, honestly, I think I want this one to come right off like that. So I'm going to move this down, and I'm going to put this right down in the corner, which is always a good thing because in case it shifts. And I want that to cup right around that. But I want it to sit in my green. I'm going to move this magnet because maybe I can get the other one in as well, which will be awesome. And I can. So I want this one to come right in like that. So these are actually just going to cup in around the flower. So let's see what this looks like. And I want that to go back up. And I'm going to pick this up lightly. And now I'll press down. So again, there's a lot of solid areas on these leaves, which I just think is going to be cool. Now for this one, or for the leaves, I'm going to use the peeled paint. Let's see here. If you hear that ringing in the background, I am so sorry. All phones going crazy. Absolutely amazing. And I'm going to stamp this again. And I'm going to push down. All right, so now I'm going to lift this up. And you know, I think I'm looking at my images. So again, I'm going to pull this, and I've got my peeled paint. Make sure I grab it from the right side. And again, I'm not worried about tapping all of this color off, because remember, your oxides will take a little bit. So this is what the colors look like. And I think that's not that you can see it because I'm off camera. So that's what that looks like. I'm going to put the rest in the container. Make sure I put my lid on because, And where's my lid? Because I'll make a mess of that. And I'm going to move this real quick. Okay, so let's heat set this. Now, I'm going to heat set this. I am going to turn the camera off because this will just right into the screen. So I'll be right back and I'll show you. And there you go. That's what that looks like. So you can see you get the shininess, but yet you get that watercolor look behind it, but a little bit, let's say, funky, you know, because I have the splatters here, I have this droplet here, and again, I'm going to be cutting this down, so I'm not worried about this area down here. So I'm going to take care of the other two, again, just to save some time. I'll show you some of the stamping, but this is where we're going. So let me take care of the other two, and I'll be right back. You know what? Yeah, I'm going to keep you in here. Let's do that one. This one I'm dying to do. Absolutely dying to do that one. Okay, so see how we can just change our minds? Isn't it awesome? All right, I don't know. I think I want to do a different flower though. That I think is definite. I think I want to do this big one. This big, beautiful one. Oh, but I still lose. You know what? I'm going to try it. Here we go. So I'm going to put that one there. And again, I'm sorry if you hear that background noise there. People are talking in our driveway with my husband. And I'm going to stamp it one more time. What I do love too is if there's any area, like in this pink one, see that spot right there? Some of the green picked up because I didn't cover that completely with the powder, and I absolutely love that. That is what I truly am enjoying with these glazes. They too can overlap on each other. Now for this one, I'm going to use weathered wood. We're just going to cover that up. Again, you don't have to be perfect. You don't even have to tap it off. The first time I used these was in one of my Simon Says card kits, and I just immediately, absolutely immediately fell hopelessly in love with them. I know you all saw that. I almost dropped that. Just because of the colors that you can get and the images that you get from them as well are just absolutely wonderful. Now, I think I'm going to stick with the same leaves. I really do like the leaves, and I think for this one, I am actually going to come right off this area here, and I'm just going to press it down just a little bit so that I know that's where it's going to go, and hopefully my nails don't pull up. And then I think for this one, I think I'm actually going to come in like this. And I know you're seeing that line coming across, but that's okay. We're going to do something a little different here. I'm going to lift that up. Now, you can see it pulled some of it away, but that's okay because I'm going to be covering it back up. And I just want to make sure. I'm going to wipe some of that away. And now I'm going to press down. Lightly lift. Same thing, I'm going to wipe some of this away because I think it's going to do something really interesting there. Again, I'm not heat setting in between. I want these two colors to mix and to mingle between what's going on this flower. Oh, I am so sorry for that noise. I cannot believe this. Okay. Hopefully I will be able to get that noise out of the background. Sounds like a woodpecker, right? Just saying. All right, again, heat set. I'll be right back. Okay, guys, here they are. They are cut down, so I have them on an olive green mat that's cut to 4 1/4 by 5 1/2 so that I can put it on the front of my standard A2 size card base. This one, of course, is a top folding. And you can see I just have the thank you sentiment. I did that in white embossing powder on a piece of black cardstock just to make sure that they see that, whoever the recipient is. But you can just see all of these beautiful colors coming through. What I love about these is you can see that watermark. That's the beauty of these. Here, and this was the tattered rose with the mahogany, aged mahogany. Here is the linen, antique linen with the vintage photo. So I've got the leaf coming in here. I used a different leaf set coming off of this. It's going off again. It's cut to be, the design panel itself was cut to 4 by 5 1/4. And then again, the backdrop is in the olive green, and that has been cut to 4 1/4 by 5 1/2. And that's what that one looks like. Again, it is a top folding. And then this one here, I think this one is just very whimsy. It's just different. I've got the leaf stem coming up through here. I've got these mistakes down here, but they're happy accidents. It actually looks like a script that I would have stamped in a background. I've got the leaves coming in here. I've got all of these splatters going all over. And again, we were able to control that. That's the beauty of that. For those of you that must control, you can use anything that's in your stash, and I encourage you, please use what's in your stash. Make sure it's water reactive, dry in between those two layers, and you will be just fine. You can also do this with the embossing powders that you already have as well. Do them in black. Think if these were black and how well that flower would just pop right off that page. So many possibilities here. Courtney, congratulations. 10,000 and you're already surpassed that. I couldn't be more happier for you. But for everyone, I do hope you enjoyed these projects to be part of Courtney's 10,000 subscriber hop. Again, this is a YouTube hop, so make sure you look down below. You'll see the links to the other YouTubers. Again, there is a giveaway, as I cannot speak. So you will see 10 wonderful videos, wonderful inspiration, all to say thank you, grateful for you, and thanks, and whatever else we can say in that area. So make sure you check that down below. If you have problems seeing them down below the video description, I will have them up on my blog as well. If you have any questions, please make sure you leave those down below as well, and I will get back to you as soon as I can. Everybody, I hope you are enjoying this, and I do hope that you are enjoying your day. Remember, stay safe and healthy. We will continue to get through this, and this too shall pass. Everyone, take care, but always remember what's most important for me and has helped me to get through this. Always be creative.